Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher, and this is Sweetwater's Guitars and Gear. This time out, I've got 3 tribute pedals to Jimi Hendrix, and I've got a tech tip on placing your pedals in the right order. Let's get started. This year is the 70th anniversary of Jimi Hendrix's birth, and MXR has come out with a new line of tribute pedals to Jimi Hendrix, the Fuzzface, the Octavio, and the Univibe, all based on Hendrix used himself. First up, we have the Univibe, which is a true vibrato effect, which means it affects the pitch of the signal. There are 2 modes for a Univibe. There's a chorus mode and then the standard Univibe mode. Let's take a listen. I'll be playing these pedals using a guitar I built myself. It's equipped with P90 single coil pickups, and we'll be playing through a Line 6 DT25 amplifier. Here's our dry sound. Just a nice clean neutral tone. Here's what happens when we switch on the Univibe in Univibe mode. Now in this mode, the entire signal is pitch modulated, so we get that familiar warbling effect. Recreate the sound of a Leslie speaker, which has a rotating horn in it, so you get that modulating pitch effect. You can turn that effect up by turning up the depth control. You can also change the speed of the effect. At the slower settings, it has almost a phase shifter type of effect to it. When we switch over to the chorus mode, the effect is a little bit different. What happens here is we rise signal straight through, and then we blend the pitch modulated signal with it. So you can hear the difference. You'll hear the sustaining dry tone, and then the modulation underneath it. So it's not a chorus effect in maybe the sense that we think of it today with a chorus pedal, but it is a chorus effect in the sense that we get the sense of 2 signals going on there at the same time. The modulated signal along with the dry signal that sustains through. The next effect in our lineup is the Octavio, which creates 2 effects. It creates an octave effect where we get a pitch above the note we're playing, and it also creates a fuzz effect. Now you can blend the fuzz effect in. When you hit the switch, the octave effect comes on, and then the fuzz control determines how much of that distortion you're mixing in. So here's our dry signal. And here's our signal with the fuzz control turned all the way down. Now we can bring the fuzz in. Here we'll mix it in about 50%. When you turn the fuzz up, you get a more intense distortion effect, but that octave still rides on top of it. The final of our trio of Hendrix pedals is a Fuzzface. Now Hendrix is closely associated with this, along with other artists like Eric Johnson and others, and there have been several different versions of the Fuzzface over the years. This one, BC on chip, which is the one that Hendrix favored. Unlike a lot of fuzz boxes that came later, the Fuzzface isn't as intensely distorted as you might think. We'll start out with the fuzz control set all the way down, just so you can hear what it sounds like when we click it in without any... So what it does is fatten up the signal, adds a little bit of hair around the edges, a little bit more sustain, but it's not a real fuzzy effect. Let's turn it to 50%. Here we're starting to get that familiar Fuzzface type of effect. It's a real throaty distortion, but again, it's not real fuzzy. There's not a lot of hair on top, yet we get quite a bit of sustain out of it, and it drives the amplifier nicely. Let's turn it up to about 75%. Lots of nice sustain. We have a lot of dynamics, and it's starting to get a little bit more of that crunchy kind of a fuzz tone to it. Still without being real fuzzy on top though. There's not a lot of washed out compressed tone there. Let's turn it all the way up and hear what this box does. So a nice amount of sustain there, but still with some nice dynamics and still the clarity to hear the notes you're actually playing. It isn't a wash of fuzz. There's still an actual fundamental there that really gives you a sense of the pitch that you're playing. If you're after Jimi Hendrix kind of tones, these pedals are a great way to do it. Compared to a traditional fuzz face, this is a much more compact design, and certainly compared to a traditional Univibe, this is a much more compact design. So they're much more pedal board friendly, yet they give you all those vintage effects, all those Hendrix approved kind of tones.